Hey, hello everyone. Very good afternoon. We'll take 1 minute, let people join, then we will go ahead and start off this.
Yeah, no
Thank
problem.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, so we'll start off now. So hello everyone once again. Very good afternoon. My name is Ravi Bodama. I'm the founder of StartupYo. So StartupYo is a platform to help small and medium businesses to start their business successfully. So we help in end to end whatever is required to start your business. So especially we help more entrepreneurs. So we are already helped more than 800 entrepreneurs till now in various things to validate their business ideas or anything. So you can check out more on www.startupyo.com. When it comes to today's one, so this is about a Churn and Burn series. This is about 13 episodes for the entire business process, which is taken by Mr. Nilesh Desai. Nilesh Desai is director for SMEA Analytics. SME analytics is basically again helping the MSME sector to making their especially financial and operational efficiencies more stronger. So they're building wonderful framework for that. So Nilesh, in that part of the series, so today we are going with human resource as part profit center. So let's listen from Mr. Nilesh Desai what he's going to talk about it, and he's going to tell what actually SME analytics does. Sir, thank you so much, sir, being part of it.
Th-
So it's all.
Thank you, Ravi. Eh, Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a webinar of Churn or Burn series. This is the eighth webinar in the series. This is a part of a book which I am writing, which I want to be, it should be useful to all MSME entrepreneurs, more particularly what I call as accidental entrepreneur. The entrepreneur, they have either by no choice they have become entrepreneur, like they did not get a job and they went into some business, or somebody who has worked in a corporate sector after 4, 5, 7, 10 years, they decided to take plunge for entrepreneurship. They have got expertise in one particular area, and other areas they may be weak, or they'll think, let me swim and I learn. So those kind of people, I am trying to give sort of a reference book which will be helpful to get the basic seeding ideas in their brain, how to correct. So, and SME analytics basically does the balance sheet analysis and profit and loss analysis, which gives 52 various ratios, which will be helpful to which will guide you to optimize your resource allocation without any change in your this thing. It only attitude change will come to use your resources more efficiently or more optimistically. That we expect that in first year itself your net profit should go up by 1 to 10% depending on your size and your effort and understanding, and these we are giving free of cost. So let us start the today's topic. Today's topic is in human resources as a profit center. Every MSME entrepreneur will have a manpower. So basically, let me start with talent is the one ingredient that makes or break the company. Uh, it is complex beast between you and your vision. So human resources can make or break the company, and there is no enough emphasis given by all my MSME friend on this subject, as They think that a lot of manpower is available, uh, and they can play around or they can get at any time. See, researchers have built the evidence that links human resource management practice with the enterprise performance. See, many researchers have worked on this, and they say there is a strong linkage between HRM and the success of the company. Lack of emphasis on human resources in MSME has been found to be one of the main reasons for business failures. Again, another research shows that there is a lack of emphasis on this is leading to business failures. Human resources efficiency and performance are the most significant reason for any MSME to be successful. This is the most neglected area by entrepreneurs, and I emphasize this is the one of the critical factor. See, everybody thinks finance is very critical. Finance is the reflection of all your efforts which comes into profit and loss, and human resources are one of the critical factor. India has got large pool of manpower of different skill, and to identify people's proper skill required for success of business is a call to be taken by entrepreneur. This is very critical because we have got large talent pool, and what kind of manpower we require has to be, or what kind of skill is required is a call to be taken by entrepreneur. The success of MSME largely depends upon the enthusiasm, competency, resources, and commitment of single person, that is entrepreneur, around whom the enterprise revolves. So, success of MSME entrepreneur depends on enthusiasm, passion, competency, resource, and commitment of a entrepreneur. Um, Research suggests that employees in MSME are described as an invisible workforce, and good HRM is in reality a bleak house. Such brand image of MSME makes them an unattractive destination for well qualified employees. We are not getting well qualified employees in MSME because of not having good HRM practices. There is a strong need to do research on formal policies in examining people practices in MSME, with current emphasis on both state and central government to promote MSME under Atmanirbhar Bharat Package 1, 2, or 3, making MSME attractive for young, energetic, qualified employees is most important and need of the hour. Atmanirbhar Bharat Package 3 was released on 12th November, where 1.45 or 46 lakhs crores are linked to PLI, production link incentives. And to create that linkages, MSME sector has to be stronger for supply chain. Otherwise, that will not be successful. Most MSME good HRM practice contribute to high organizational performance. Thus, MSME should take innovative and better HRM practices to enhance organizational performance. We will have to concentrate on our HRM practices. Later on in my speech, I will be talking about how to measure and all that. Most of the MSME follow some HRM practice, but it has to be defined better. And the thing starts with job description. Most of the MSME, they do not do this job description, which I strongly advise. Whether you are a two-man organization or 200 people organization, job description, if you write down, you will get clarity what kind of person you are looking to, and that will also give a clarity to people who come for interview whether they fit well or they don't fit well. So this is the diagram which will you will have to follow and crystallize your thought process. The skill acquired is the biggest pool of intangible asset which entrepreneurs create in first few years. This is very critical. Manpower is a intangible asset like your brand equity. If you have got a good manpower, the customer also will be happy to deal with you because they are getting sure that their delivery will be made on time. And the first few years you may not have brand equity of your brand, but you will have a quality of the people who interacts with customer as well as on the shop floor. Loyal and skilled manpower increases the valuation of the enterprise. This is again in the last webinar I will be discussing valuation, how to value MSME entrepreneur. There also you will be able to understand better. The above has to be done for both blue collared and white collared employees. See, most of the people, any a peon will be wearing khaki dress and all that. There also, if you prepare a job description, you will get a better return on your rupee invested or spent on manpower. Once the job description ready from where to acquire such skill, process starts. It can be through advertisement, digital job site, board outside the factory, referral, and many more. So once the job description ready, you will have to look for the people from where you get. Generally, it is found in initial phase entrepreneurs hire. This is again a very critical point. Hire or engage his friends and relatives. But once the unit starts growing, these people may become obstacles. So entrepreneurs should be very cautious for selecting from friends and relatives, because when one particular in first 2 3 years they may be very useful because they know you in out and all that, and they know the job well. But once you start professionalizing or improving the layer in between, they may become a bottleneck, and they may disrupt your life with your wife, your mother, father. So that you will have to be very particular that you don't select a wrong manpower, because they are available, they are our friends, they are our relatives. Be careful of your job description and take them. Generally, blue collar jobs require more manual work where physique of the person is critical, and depending on the nature of industry, the numbers required will be identified and selected. Machine operators and semi-skilled workers are also falls in this category. Then once you select your blue collar job and other things, people, then the need comes for supervisor. Supervisor, the next selection generally in manufacturing sector will be of a supervisor. Generally, they manage workflow, onboarding new workers, creating and managing team schedule, evaluating performance and providing feedback, identifying and applying career advancement, helping to resolve the employees issue. These are the broader range of roles of supervisor. And seven crucial skills required in supervisor are communication, conflict resolution, leadership, critical thinking, interpersonal scheme, time and property management, problem solving. These are the skills you have to, when you select a supervisor, you should look into this, and whether they fit at what percentage and all that. They should be very communicative because they are the link between shop floor and the entrepreneur. In small MSME, supervisor is a bridge between entrepreneur and workers. He helps entrepreneurs in production planning, raw material required, also for planning tools and tackles. As he matures, many times he get involved in financial matters also. Once the supervisor and workers are decided and production starts, the need of administrators like accountant and sales or marketing will have to be addressed by the entrepreneurs. This is the next stage when entrepreneur has to take a call on selecting administrative staff. Accountant generally performs billing and accounting duties. They support account receivable, payable, reconciliation work as a cashier and maintain records. Next important is a sales representative is a principal point of contact between a business and its customer. He ensures right product and services, identify new market and customers leads, and pitch prospective customers. This is the role generally expected out of the sales person. These four will be a core team. and will build and serve the enterprise to grow from, say, start to 1 or 2 crore turnover. From here to grow to a larger turnover will require different mindset, and here they require to develop organizational chart incorporating next 3 years vision of the entrepreneur or enterprise. And from time to time, entrepreneur has to delegate more responsibility to various team members and selecting senior or middle level as and when they need arises. And as these posts are very crucial, entrepreneurs cannot make a mistake in selecting, and they will define the culture of the unit, which is why Japanese are winning. Japanese people are winning in manufacturing because they got a culture which is very identifiable, and we have to, our culture will be defined by in between people and then overall team what we develop. So we have to develop a organized chart and this thing. Now, once you have selected some middle or senior level people, they have to be onboarded. They have to come and work with existing people, and this is the most critical exercise where we are trying to make a video, small video, where an entrepreneur, where a new employees is coming to the railway station and the train starts. Then he runs to catch the train, and so he can catch the train by holding a handle or somebody helps inside, or he will fall. So the train goes on. The organization may run, but this new entrant may not get absorbed for what he is selected. That video will be available in next 2 to 3 days, which will be put up on WhatsApp and LinkedIn, other things. Onboarding of a new employee worker is very critical for retaining the person. If it is white collar job, these 7 steps will help. Prepare colleagues for the new employees. When somebody is going to join 3 days later or 5 days later, saying that this and this person will be joining for this and this responsibility to existing people, it will help that new fellow to come in. Have the new employee's workstation ready to go. Make sure your new employee has access to any necessary programs. Make introductions. Plan a team lunch. Allow plenty of time for training. Also, for retaining top talent, following onboarding process will help. Automate what you can. Do something special for your employees. Keep it personal and ease first day at anxieties. There will be a first day anxieties in the employees joining. So you have to help them to ease that. Make it interactive. Help them to understand what will make them successful. These are all critical for onboarding. Generally, this area is neglected in MSME. Then I will come back. I will come and describe the importance of training. Most of the MSME in turnover range of say up to 5 crore or 10 crore, they neglect training, and I will try to tell that training is most critical after job description, onboarding, and training. Training is most critical component for creating high performance organization, and this is the most neglected area for MSME. The return on training is very high as it will increase longevity of employees, also attract new talent. If there is a training going on in this thing, the word will spread around and you will be able to attract new talent. Because every human body wants to grow in their earning potentiality, their commitment to the job. It is highly recommended to invest in structured training of both blue collar and white collar. Use of various technologies for skill upgradation will increase productivity. YouTube has got many videos in many languages, is generally free resource, and providing suitable facility will have very high returns. See, now many YouTube videos are available. You can have something like a TV or a computer and then make your blue collared workers to go through that. YouTube videos will be 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, and it will become a point of discussion between them, and this will help them to learn faster. Performance review. This is again a very critical component of HRM. Performance review appraisal is a regular review of an employee's job performance and overall contribution to company's performance. Generally, it will be done annually, but according to study and research, dynamic or more frequent evaluation of workforce and white collar job will give many critical inputs to the entrepreneur to create high performing enterprise. It is said that MSME are training ground of talent to large corporate and MNC, but it is a career decision for employee to decide that they want to be a small fish in a large pond or a big fish in a small pond. In large corporate, learning opportunities get reduced and will sharpen in one particular function, while MSME you will be exposed to multi-skilling and will have to find out inner strength and inner skill, which is very critical for any human for his long-term career plan. To overcome the challenges, MSME entrepreneur can work out various compensation packages like performance bonus, ESOP, and many such ways. Generally, MSMEs are reluctant to part with the performance bonus and things like that. If they can structure out well-known, well-designed policy, it will help that talent to be retained. Retaining talent is one of the critical factor. Now I will come to importance of interns and apprentices. See, many engineering college or MBA college, they provide a summer internship or long-term internship, and taking them, that will give you a fresh bird's eye view for your performance or this thing, and they can bring out digital adoption to basically high level, and they leave a permanent impression for another 8-10 months for their employees, so that there will be continuous next level change will come because of internship, and whereas apprenticeship also government is encouraging. Many MSME can look into this. Actually, I am using this internship for last 4 years, and in my Desai fabricator also, I used to have ITIs as apprentice, and I used to take them in bulk. Then I'll come back. Anything which can be measured can be improved. So human capital matrix is one which I'm trying to describe here, that how much can be valued. Similarly, training investment value, turnover rates, all these I have described, which you can go through. Apart from absenteeism and overtime also to be reduced, and suitable policy reviews will help the growth of enterprise. Government has taken steps like ESI free of gratuity as statutory, and now government wants to increase ease of doing business. So they are in a process to change certain labor laws. Entrepreneurs should keep a watch on the changes coming in. Next critical thing is team building. Any MSME where more than two people are there, team building is a very critical aspect. And it helps the company to grow, say, from 5 crore to 10x kind of growth. There are various steps involved, and team leads change management. It will have a short-term and long-term goals, well defined and aligned to vision, mission, and value of the organization. There are some disadvantages also. So this exercise has to be administered in controlled doses. I will request all the people who are participating, if they are interested, then I will organize one webinar for team building exclusively. Please send your email or something to me or Ravi, so that we can work and this thing. Then again, last this thing, skill mapping and skill gap analysis, and valuation of your skill. Once the organization of high growth path, skill mapping and skill gap analysis will help. And in latter stages, there are various valuation metrics are available to find out valuation of manpower. It is a complex mechanism, but units may look to get investors or looking for merger and acquisition. This will help. So thank you, Ravi. Thank you, all my participants. Last time in finance I overshooted, so I wanted to restrict this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was very informative, as usual. So, thank you so much. So, if anyone wanted to follow, Desai sir or his Facebook and YouTube, their links are given here. You can note down. I will also paste the YouTube link here. Desai sir, SME Analytics YouTube link also I have given in the comments, so you can take it and then subscribe to their channels. So they're also building a lot of useful information for the MSME sector. Seems some issue with the connection today. So if you have any questions, please start posting in the comments. I will start asking them to Desai sir. Uh, for this first, I will. Okay. Sir, here I'm going with the first question. Okay. It's
Vani is saying
thank
thank
you,
you.
Vani Garu.
Vani.
Yeah. There is some issue with it. Yeah. Manjula is asking, do you think reskilling can improve or can prove to be beneficial to both organization and employees?
Yes, Manjula, I think reskilling. See, if the employee himself come for reskill for updating his skill or reskilling, it is very good. Otherwise, entrepreneur can find out and request the entrepreneur, the employee, which can help him or her to grow in his the skill. It can be done by various online courses available, and it will be beneficial till the employee works with the organization. Say like today many MSME may not use, but artificial intelligence, machine learning, or even simple SEO tools, there are lakhs of MSME entrepreneur who does not have their website basically. So all these kind of things will help them to understand and put that organization on a growth path. Also, they will keep upskilling that this thing. Today, the need is uh, unskilled, and reskill. It's a continuous process. Earlier lifespan, one career will last for 10, 20, 30 years. Now, every 3 years, if you don't change, you are out. Am I right, Ravi?
Yes, sir, absolutely. The
Yeah.
changes are happening much frequent, sir, actually.
That is why 3 years also may be too long a time.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, sir. I'll jump to seem some issue, so it's coming a little glitchy. So please bear with us. Some issue with it technically. The next question I'll discuss the role of HR department in evaluating human resource effectiveness.
Generally, small MSME unit may not have a HR department unless until they have got about 100 workers and 10 or 12 staff. It is very difficult to maintain specific role of HR, but HR is most useful when suppose if you have got 100 employees, so you are working with 100 dynamic resource, and in that if a team can be built or their skill can be mapped once in a quarter, I expect that it will reduce your cost of labor by 1 to 2%. In manufacturing company, the labor portion itself will come to 8 to 12% of the manufacturing cost. So if you can reduce 1% or 2% this cost, you can imagine what happens to your bottom line. That is why HR department after certain strength can be very useful. I hope I answered
Thank
your
you,
question.
sir.
Hmm.
Yes, sir. There is another question from Amar. He's asking, what is the importance of HR audit?
Thank you, Amar. Very interesting question. See, many times bird's eye view to your HR function will help you to find out what unknown are there in your processes, and the auditor will help you to find out the skill gap analysis and skill mapping, so that utilization of the available manpower will increase, or productivity of the manpower will improve. This is generally like financial audit or other audits which you regularly electric, your energy audit, and that you see the leakages can be reduced. So you can identify your training needs of the organization, return on training, return, how you can control absenteeism, and lot of HR issues, excess leaves, all that can be minimized, or it can be systematically known, so that you are not having a rude shocks. I hope I answered, Amar, your question.
Yes, sir. I have another question from Ravi Mantri here. How we can adapt the human resource management to effective with project management?
First, Ravi, thank you. Project management is a time bound execution process which which has to be which has got very high cost involvement. So human capital management or human resource management at site where difficult conditions will be there, or smooth functioning like in factories will not be there. So a continuous interaction with HR and project management coordination will see that the project is executed in defined cost and defined time. So many times this migrant labor or labor coming from Bihar and UP and other things, they have got their own, or Kerala, they have got some specific festivals coming in their this thing, and they all of a sudden go on leave or for long leave and all that, which will jeopardize the project management. So knowing all these will be very useful for controlling the project sites. And this is very critical. Thank you, Ravi.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have another question from Alekhia. She's asking, what are the features of profit sharing? I mean, I think she's asking different types of profit sharing with employees. I think so.
See, there are various methods. One of the method is profit sharing, or you can give, see your top three, four performers. If I make this profit, I will give you this much at the end of the year, or knowing your last year's profit, you can say that and include that in every month, and at end of year, that will help the people to give their best for getting, because they are also sharing the profit, so they will be able to identify the wastages and help us to reduce. And this is one of the way to keep the retain the employee. Replacement cost of an employee is very difficult to identify, so retaining the employee is a good instrument for your growth. See, other methods are like ESOP, Employee Stock Exchange Program. Suppose if your unit is in between 20-30 crore, and in next 2-3 years you want to go for a public issue or listing on small exchanges, then you can give some shares or sweet equity to your top performing employees according to the discussion internally or review with your HR manager or something. And this will help them to build a wealth. And when the share price of say 10 rupees of particular enterprise is getting quoted at 200, and somebody has got 500 shares of you, he makes 1 lakh wealth without even sweating it out. Some sweat equity also can be considered. There are various models for profit sharing and ESOP and many other performance related uh, things which can be worked out. You should be open. Entrepreneur should be open. He should be able to understand a good manpower is adding to his intangible assets, which is a must for many entrepreneurs. चलता है वो नहीं चलेगा. You will have to see that manpower. You don't miss. You consider their value. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I have another question here again from Manjula. What is the importance of HRM in recent time?
As the time passes, more and more HRM importance is increasing. See, now today, lot of artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithm has come, which can help you starting from recruitment to till many functions, inboarding, onboarding, and other things, performance review. Lot of algorithms are getting developed around this thing. And one of my hypotheses, if you have got 30 and more workers and one supervisor and then one entrepreneur, one accountant, these 30 blue collar people, which is working with you, uh, you do not know what is happening to what is the skill they acquire of the factory hours. And more particularly in this lockdown period, everybody had a lot of time, so that skill what they've acquired, if you can map them, then you in a small MSME company, you don't require specialized person for every job. So sometimes this will help you in crisis management, the skill available. If you know, see, recently we had a downpour of rain, and many areas in Balanagar and other industrial area were flooded. This is an unusual situation. At that situation, you have to take a critical and fast decision. So you need a skill. So that skill, if you are aware that this person has learned this, you can put them into use for at that particular time to mitigate the criticality. So this is very critical. And as the time passes, human resources one day will get equivalent importance of as a CFO or CXO or something. It will get very critical. See, all in software companies, HR is a uh, second most critical item. Ravi can
So,
say that because he has
yeah,
worked
yeah,
in
very
such
much,
companies.
very much.
See, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll jump into the next question, sir. Uh, so the next question is from Muhammad Imran. He's asking, mention the skills required by the manager. So he's asking what kind of skills that manager should have.
Thanks, Mr. Imran. See, you have partially answered your question yourself. Manager is the who manages. So he suppose if a production
Sir,
manager
you're there?
is there, he huh? Yeah. So manager is the person, suppose production manager. He links between customer orders which are coming in and allocate the work along with the supervisor to this thing. He decides whether to be production shift to be increased or overtime to be given, or like that. Marketing manager looks into the marketing. So every manager is got definite this thing. But as our concentration is for less than say 5 crore turnover company, it will be generally run by a entrepreneur and supervisor in between. There may not be a manager, but as some companies who are likely to, who wants to grow from say company which is 10 crore turnover to go to 70 crores, he will be requiring various levels, and then he has to decide, because entrepreneurs should slowly move away from the day-to-day activity to a more strategical field. So, and if change, he does not change his thinking, it will become an obstacle to the growth of the company. I hope I answered your question, Imran.
Thank you, sir. I have another question now. So, from uh, Jadala Srinivas, saying robo is cheaper than human energy. So,
Thank you, Srinivas.
robo is cheaper, but
So,
robo will not be able to do in every situation, every place.
Robo
Yes,
has
sir.
got limitation. Robo
It's
has got a
yours turn now.
limitation. Robo has got a limitation to do some repetitive jobs, and the capital cost of robo and the acceptance of robo in a small scale industry is going to be difficult.
Sir, did you get my question? I think
Ye-
some technical glitch. Are you able to
Yes,
hear
I am
me?
able to read the question. Yeah, yeah, I am able to hear you.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I am able to hear. Manjula, you are not able to hear? Ravi? Srinivas, are you able to hear? If yes, type yes. Srinivas is not able to hear. It is there. Jatala Srinivas, Varangal. Okay. Srinivas, if you are able to hear, robo capital cost is higher, item number one, which the kind of money may not be available with MSME sector. I will tell you a small joke. I don't know. See, uh, about 30 years back, we went to one circus and asked
There's
for
some lag.
whether
Okay.
are you getting any bank loan. The circus manager said that nobody wants to keep my tiger as a collateral. So robo is also like no bank manager will accept
We
as a
can, yeah,
collateral.
I'm able to hear, sir. You continue, please.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. So you have to be very careful. Automation, instead of that, you can start automating certain functions in your office area or in your other functions, which generally will give you a better return rather than thinking about robo at this stage of MSME. If you are above 50 crore or 100 crore non-commodity item, you can always look. Auto ancillaries have started adopting robots in a bigger way, but they have started adopting ERP and other solutions like CRM and other things much better than uh, other MSMEs, smaller cousins have started accepting. Yes, technology adoption is a critical component and it will be required more particularly after this Atmanirbhar package 3. It will be required, and that mindset of entrepreneurs will have to change considerably. I hope I answered your question, Srinivas. Amulya, thank you for your question. So there are various methods to recruit. What level job description? If once you identify job description, and once you think that you need a blue collar job, your own employees in the workforce maybe become a good referral to get people. And a board generally board outside the factory premises also will get blue collar jobs. And as you go higher and higher requirement of white collar job, advertisement in newspaper using various digital job sites, and spreading the word in social media, LinkedIn, and similar to LinkedIn, various other other things have come up in local language, which also can be helpful. Attending a seminars and talking to few people there also may help you. It depends on what kind of manpower you are
Thank you, sir. I'll jump
look.
into the next question. So, Amulya is asking, what are the different methods of recruiting employees?
Ravi, I have already answered that question. There is some problem there. Thank you, Ravi. The difference between recruitment and selection: recruitment is the where you get number of people for a particular job, and then after the interview, maybe first time, second time, third time, you decide and you narrow down, okay, what kind of person is fitting to your job description. Negotiate with him various terms and conditions, and that is a selection process. I hope I answered your question, Ravi. Thank you, Shravan. Your question is, what are the steps involved in employee grievances procedures? It depends on what is the size of your unit. Smaller the unit, grievances, the blue collared worker or white collared person can come to the entrepreneur and discuss one to one. And as the unit grows, supervisor can
Thank you,
collect
sir.
the.
I'll jump into the next question. The next question is from the Manoj Patil. How to maintain HR policy? That is what his question.
Thank you. Thank you,
No, he is
Manojji.
asking about how to maintain the HR policy. One second, sir.
Thank you, Manojji.
Uh,
First, you start with defining what you expect from your employees when you are
so
one
there
or
is one
two.
more question from Ravi Mantri. Uh, what is the difference between recruitment and selection?
Do not tell him that I have answered certain things. I have answered that question of Ravi. Type it out.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Uh,
Mr. Dasrath, your
I'll get into the next question, sir. Shravan is asking, what are the steps involved?
Ravi, certain questions I have answered because your technology problem was there. Now you come to Dasrath. Ravi, are you able to listen to me? Mr. Dasrath, are you able to listen to me? Your question is, what is the minimum manpower for small organization? A small organization can be solo entrepreneur also, like a tailor or such small this thing. They can run solely. What is that?
Sir, are you talking?
I am talking about Dasrath.
Sir, I think some technical issue. I'm not able
Yes.
to.
Yes, you tell that we will continue with the question. Mr. Dasrath, I will be answering your question. See, it can be a single entrepreneur and under Mundra loan or something, the government will, banks will provide you loan for single man organization also. It has got certain requirement which you can
Sir,
go to Mundra
seems some
website.
technical issue. So I will display the question. You please read out the question and answer. My voice is coming little later to
Yes,
you.
yes, 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 yes. So I have already answered the question of Mr. Dasrath. Hope Dasrath, I have answered your question fully. Rangarauji, government has agreed to give EPF for both employer and employee
Yeah, sir. Go
under
ahead, sir.
Atmanirbhar Bharat Package 3. They have given some relief for the unit which are registered in GST up to certain turnover or certain manpower. Government has agreed for both the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
contribution.
I am able to hear you.
Yeah.
Please answer Dasarath's question, sir.
Rangarao's question I have answered. Rangarao's question I have answered. Rangaraoji, I am not exactly clear, but because it has come only on 12th November, declared by Nirmala Sitharaman, and it has yet to come in guidelines or other thing. So we are waiting for that guidelines to come. But they have announced some relief for EPF to be given to certain kind of MSME enterprises. Once it comes, we will let you know. Thank you, Rangaraoji. Imranji, what is the difference between organizational capital and structural capital? I am not very clear what do you mean by organizational capital and structural capital. If you are talking about intangible assets of organization or this thing or financial capital, I am not very clear from your question. Will you redefine your question, Imranji? Can I request next question? Alekia, objective of job evaluation is a very difficult thing to answer. It should come from the job description and whether employee is able to meet that description or not after some period of time, and you can evaluate the job delivered by an employee against the job description, which will give you the evaluation. It depends on your expectation and your tolerance for the employee. Can we make a last question now? Amulya, the goal of performance appraisal is to give a compensation to performing employees and give a inflation-based raise so that the retention rate can be increased. So that is why performance appraisal is a necessary thing in a growing MSME, and supervisor and the people connected with the shop floor will give you very good feedback of all employees. Generally now 360-degree appraisals are coming in, but MSME has not yet adopted in a large scale. Even balance scorecard also is coming in, but it will be applicable to 20, 30 crores and above companies where there is a critical review of all the structural review will be there. I think we will close the webinar here. Then I will tell you about the next week webinar. Thank you all the participants. On again 28th, I will be having one more webinar, and that webinar is a on passion as and goals. See, I use the term and that we most of us are accidental entrepreneur. We have become entrepreneur not by choice but circumstances or our entrepreneur spirit which has bugged up after corporate job of 10, 20 years in particular field, and we have started. So that is a structurally weak mechanism for a growing this thing. You may get a success or you may not get a success. So next webinar will be very clear on what are kind of passions entrepreneurs should have and what kind of goals it should have, and probably some connection between passion and goals will be the next webinar on 28/11 at the same time. Thank you everybody, and I hope that this chapter, this human resources as profit center, must have increased, must help you to redefine your strategies as fast as possible. Thank you everybody.